I'm going to beat Tyson senseless in this fight. If you want to see with your own eyes. Tyson begging me on his knees. Then I advise you to buy tickets now. Otherwise, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. These were the provocative remarks made by American boxer Peter McNeeley, right after Tyson was released from prison. In an online press conference, he stated that Tyson was past his prime, and he could defeat Tyson with just a flick of his finger. Rewind time, in February 1992, Tyson was in prison for 2 years due to criminal charges. He was only released and returned in March 1995. Upon his return, Tyson faced countless insults and doubts. Even though Tyson consistently tried to prove his innocence, it still didn't sway the public. After all, his imprisonment was a fact. At the same time, Tyson's championship title was also stripped. After his release, Tyson was a fighter with nothing. To quickly reclaim everything, Tyson trained diligently in prison. All so that after his release, he could quickly fight a comeback match. He aimed to return to the boxing world through this fight. Coming to August 1995, a person named Peter McNeeley presented himself. He believed that Tyson, having been in prison for 2 years, must have regressed significantly during that time. If he could capitalize on the buzz of this comeback fight and defeat Tyson, he would surely make a name for himself and achieve great success. The bell rang, signaling the start of the match. At the start, his opponent, McNeeley, pounced on Tyson like a mad dog. Tyson met him head-on. A left hook directly knocked the opponent to the ground. McNeeley reacted very quickly. He jogged around the ring, still wanting to rush towards Tyson to continue the attack. The referee was counting during the match. We can see Tyson was very calm in his corner, waiting for the referee's count, while his opponent, McNeeley, was already impatient. He raised his hands to show he was fine. So the match continued. He walked over, threw a right hook, then a left to the body. Both exchanged blows. Tyson created some space and continued his fierce left-hand attack. We can see McNeeley's face was already red and swollen from the punches. He still wanted to stand and exchange blows. McNeeley tried to corner Tyson, continuously swinging punches. But Tyson is definitely not to be trifled with. In this position, if you dare to exchange heavy punches with him, Tyson's heavy punches are absolutely no joke. Tyson continued to press forward. McNeeley pushed Tyson away. They continued to exchange punches. Tyson threw an uppercut. McNeeley finally couldn't hold on. He chose to clinch. The referee tried to separate them back to the center of the ring. This way, the match continued with exchanges. The live audience also got excited. In this match, McNeeley wasn't lying. He was indeed very actively exchanging heavy punches with Tyson. The referee told both fighters to get ready. The match begins. Tyson's left hand strikes. His right hand follows with a punch. Both fists working together, under heavy pressure. Opponent Peter McNeeley can only defend desperately. He was rocked and fell to the ground. The referee announces the count. The referee is counting. Peter McNeeley's entire body, his footwork, was already wobbly. His eyes were still fixed on Tyson. He still wants to continue fighting. But the coaching team has already entered the ring. It turns out, Peter McNeeley's coaching team threw in the white towel, declaring their surrender, abandoning this match. Peter McNeeley's coaching team was also worried about his life. If the fight continued, there might be a threat to his life. As for Tyson, he won the match in just 89 seconds. 85 seconds, and it was all over. Tyson didn't need to warm up or adapt. He used one punch to tell the whole world, the tiger is still here. Don't get close to the cage. Next, for his comeback, his opponent for the second fight has a deep connection with Tyson. This young man is named Buster Mathis Jr. He should actually call Tyson Marshall Uncle, because his father's master was also Tyson's mentor. Pistemado. Mathis Jr.'s height is 1583. He has avoided 1588 fights, and has a record of 14 wins and 0 losses, undefeated to this day. Everyone calls him the new generation's Tyson, especially his target practice and record. They are almost identical to Tyson's. He has a cat-like fighting style and powerful heavy punches, plus his undefeated record to this day, making many people believe He was absolutely the best candidate to replace Tyson. However, Tyson will use this match to prove himself irreplaceable. As the match began, ferocious Mathis Jr. eagerly ran towards Tyson, but slipped and directly knelt before Tyson. Such a grand gesture right at the start. It seems he still has respect for his martial uncle. Of course, this is a joke. The match continues. Tyson also clamped his opponent's arm, and after creating some distance, Tyson pressed forward. Mathis Jr. tried to push forward, first throwing two punches, then a right hand. All his left hand punches were dodged. Oh, we can see Mathis Jr.'s head movement. It's exactly like Tyson's. His head movement technique is indeed similar to ours. That's why many people call him Tyson's replacement. Tyson, on the other hand, is full of fire in this match. On one hand, after being released from prison, he urgently wants to return to the center of the boxing world. On the other hand, hearing someone impersonate him, calling themselves Tyson II. Of course, he would be angry. Here, Tyson continues to seek opportunities. However, Mathis is hitting. However, Mathis Jr.'s punching style, we can indeed feel, is very similar to Tyson's. Tyson's lead hand, rear hand. Mathis Jr. also wanted to dodge them. At this position, the two fighters once again got close. Mathis, his left hand pressed against Tyson's chest, pushing forward from this position. Then, grappling at close quarters, the referee separated the two fighters. Tyson's uppercut missed. His opponent was still swaying and dodging him. Mathis is very confident in his swaying and dodging. However, he also clinches a lot in the match. When facing Tyson, it's probably true that he can't help but clinch. After all, Tyson's heavy punches are incredibly powerful. Entering the last 1 minute and 40 seconds of the third round, at this position, the two continued to grapple in the clinch. And Tyson is about to make his move. Let's first look at this exchange of hooks. Tyson jabs. What about Mathis? He shakes his head. This position requires an opening. Still another punch. Then Mathis also returned a punch, creating distance. At this position, Tyson got close. One uppercut, then a left hook. Another one or two uppercuts. Mathis was sent flying out. The match was stopped at this moment. The referee is counting to 5. Let's see if Mathis can still get up. The last 30 seconds of the round. He slowly stood up. The match is over. The referee waved his hand, announcing that Tyson won the match. What Tyson 2.0? Footwork and evasion that surpasses Tyson's. In front of the true beast. These are just paper tiger's armor. Knockdown with one punch. A night of return. Tyson once again redefined his unique dominance. If the previous two matches were just a prelude, then the next match is the absolute main event. Tyson finally welcomed his long-awaited championship challenge match, and his opponent was surprisingly someone he had defeated before. This person is named Frank Bruno. 7 years ago, he had a match with Tyson. At that time, he stubbornly lasted until the 5th round before being KO'd by Tyson. And during the 2 years Tyson was absent, he defeated Oliver McCall and won the WBC World Championship. Both were full of animosity before the match. Tyson believed Bruno stole his championship, while Bruno wanted to avenge that year's defeat and declared he would no longer fear this madman. Tyson, on the other hand, only issued a stern warning that he would use the most brutal way to reclaim his belt. Here we go, the bell rings. The match begins. This championship fight finally began as Tyson had promised. In this match, the two fighters will contend for the WBC World Championship charge. In the ring, Tyson is fighting very aggressively, constantly pressing forward. Bruno, on the other hand, is wary of Tyson's strength, although he verbally said he would no longer fear Tyson, this madman. However, we can tell from his fighting style that his fear of Tyson still exists. In the match, he chose to clinch. From this conservative fighting style, one can feel that Bruno's confidence in his own condition is still not very high. He is also continuing to press forward. Bruno chose to clinch again. This frequent clinching right at the start of the first round really makes one feel a bit impatient. Nice. Tyson's usual follow-up left hook landed on the head. Bruno also started attempting to counterpunch, but the effect is definitely not as effective as Tyson's heavy punches. He chose to clinch again. Bruno is also known as the last British boxing king. He's called a boxing king of his generation. He's considered the sole hope of British boxing. So, he also carries the boxing hopes of many British fans. But facing a monster like Tyson today, it's hard to say. The third round started with yet another familiar clinch. The referee couldn't even pull them apart. Tyson landed a heavy left hand to the head. Tyson's killing intent surged. He also felt that his opponent was a bit wary of him. What follows is a one-sided performance by Tyson. Let's take a look. Pressing forward, left hook. Opponent clinches. At this point, Tyson's body is already stained with the blood of his opponent, Bruno. The referee pulled them apart. Their waists dodged, unable to choose to clinch again, leaving a mixed impression. The referee forcefully pulled the two apart, but Bruno clearly didn't listen to the warning. Bruno is tightly clinching. Tyson stepped forward and delivered a combination. Left hook landed, right hand landed again. Continuous upper attacks. Tyson draws his opponent in with heavy pressure. Bruno was also rocked. He fell to the canvas. The referee stopped the fight. Tyson takes this match. He is using the victory of this match to return to the ranks of world champions. 2 years behind bars, a body full of rage. 3 fights. 3 finish. This night, what fell with Bruno was not just the WBC championship belt, but also those who doubted and mocked Tyson. Collapsing together, he didn't cry or roar. Only when the referee stopped the fight did he lie on the ground, silently declaring to the entire arena, "The king has returned from hell."